Rosy friends, it's Julie. Today I'm going to talk about why I have stopped covering up my rosacea. So I used to wear makeup every single time I left the house. I wore makeup a lot of times inside the house because if somebody knocked on my door and I had to answer, I found it really embarrassing to have to answer the door with a red and blotchy face. I would actually avoid answering the door if I didn't have makeup on, which lately I've gone for basically a full reversal on that. I have stopped wearing makeup. Not overall, I still wear eye makeup and sometimes a little lip gloss and stuff depending on where I'm going. But if I am just staying around the house or I'm going grocery shopping or regular shopping or I'm just going for coffee with a friend or something like that, I have stopped covering up my rosacea with makeup. I don't wear primer, foundation, powder, any of those things. I just clean my face, moisturize it, and go. I'm not wearing it right now because you're my rosy friends and I don't feel that I need to cover that up for you. That said, to be more specific, I have not stopped using any makeup at all. I'm still very curious about concealers and foundations and things. I will still be making videos about that. I do still wear makeup. When I went to my grandmother's 93rd birthday recently, we went to lunch. I wore makeup to cover that up. I wanted to look especially nice. If I go to events, I'm a book author in real life, so I do attend events and things like that, and when I go to those, I do typically wear makeup to cover that up and everything. If I go to something fancy like a wedding or when I went to Christmas dinner, I do my whole face. It's just a part of what I do. I would do it if I had rosacea or not. So I don't really consider that covering my rosacea as much as just wearing makeup because I want to look nice and it's an event. This choice was a very conscious one for me. I have made a lot of changes to my life based on my rosacea. If you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know that I call it my rosy lifestyle. I live the rosy life. And I love that. I still think that it's very smart for me to make a lot of changes that I find have a positive impact on controlling my symptoms. Because rosacea isn't just about my blotchy red cheeks, it's about the burning feeling and the discomforts like itching and all of that fun stuff that can come with it. I don't want that. I don't want to have red blotchy cheeks either. So I have made a lot of changes to my life. I've changed my skincare, I've changed a lot of the fabrics that I'll wear, I've changed my food, I wash my laundry with soap nuts instead of regular traditional detergents. I do a lot of things to keep my face cool. I've changed the way that I exercise. I avoid direct sunlight. I've made a lot of changes, so it can feel at some times like I am actually living for my rosacea. I am a walking rosacea and I live for that, and that's not how I wanted things to be. As much as I want to make a lot of very smart changes to keep the condition under control, and as much as I do still feel that I'm living the rosy lifestyle, I don't actually want to define myself by the condition. So I may follow a lot of my new lifestyle habits every single day, but I'm not going to allow it to dictate how good or not good I feel about myself when I leave the house. The thing is that I feel I'm doing absolutely everything reasonable within my power to keep my symptoms under control. Prescriptions haven't worked for me, I do light therapy every day, and I'm doing a lot of other things all the time. So I'm not going to be ashamed to go outside and see other people just because my cheeks are pink and blotchy. Because, you know, I'm not ugly. I may not have a flawless complexion, but I'm a caring person and I'm a person who smiles very easily at other people. Even if we don't know each other and I pass you in a store and you say, like, do you know where such and such is on the shelves? I will smile at you and I will do my best to genuinely help you. I'm not saying that I'm some sort of friendliness superhero or something like that, but I am kind and good and I smile all the time. And if you work in a store or if you work in a restaurant and you help me, I will smile at you, I will be polite to you, and I will be friendly to you. So I feel like because I am clean and groomed and friendly and I smile, there really isn't any reason for anybody to be bothered with whether or not my cheeks have blotches on them or not. And for the most part, I don't think anybody really cares. I have reached the point where I typically forget that that's a thing on my face. It's just part of how I look and I've accepted that, and I genuinely have. If somebody else has a problem with the way that I look in some way, they just think that I shouldn't leave the house because I have blotchy cheeks, that's really not my problem. That's theirs, and that's something that comes from a very different place that I hope that they can cope with more effectively, so that they kind of come up with a better priority in life, because I certainly have. I really don't think that blotchy or smooth complexions say absolutely anything about the person or whether or not they should leave the house and see other people and feel confident and good about themselves. So my conscious decision was essentially to stop thinking of rosacea as some sort of shame that needs to be covered up, and just accept it as something that is on my face, just like my nose, and just know that I have a very good attitude and a great smile and a willing smile, and I am not doing anything wrong. It's just blotchy skin. It doesn't matter. And even if it's making me uncomfortable, even if it's one of those days where it's burning or itching, it's not affecting anybody else. It's not contagious. So it really just doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to anybody else either. It's funny because this attitude isn't something that I took on gradually. It wasn't something that I kind of got used to over time. It was something that I very specifically said, like, no, I've had it enough. I look okay. I'm not going to be starting a modeling career anytime soon, but I'm also not going to be ashamed of who I am or feel that I need to cover myself up. It's such a small deal. I think the biggest struggles that I have faced in trying to maintain this attitude 100% while I'm out, it's mostly when people actually do make comments. And the vast majority of the time, vast majority of the time, those comments are actually well meant. In the winter, I constantly hear, "Oh, look at those rosy cheeks, it must be so cold out there." I hear it probably every single time I go out. In the summertime, I get teased for having spent too much time in the sun. And, you know, these are people who don't know that I am constantly wearing a huge brimmed hat. I use parasols. I have sunscreen on all the time. I don't spend too much time in the sun. I am sitting in the shade most of the time. But they're just comments that people have always made, and they don't mean them in any harsh way. They just think that I've spent too much time in the sun, or it's a cold, windy day out there. Some people do come up and think that they can help. They recommend products. Oh, they know somebody, their daughter, their sister, their brother, whoever tried such and such. Have I tried this prescription? Have I tried that skincare product because it cured them? And so I should try it too. Those are a little harder to stay positive about, but I just keep reminding myself that those people do mean well. They think that I'm struggling with something and they have a solution for it, so why not share that? You know, if I was in some kind of pain and they could correct that for me right then and there, then they're trying to help. I personally am not thrilled with the assumption that I'm uncomfortable with the way that I look or feel, or that I do need unsolicited help in that way, and I don't really need the reminder constantly that I do look obviously blotchy so that other people can see it. But at the same time, I do know where the intention is coming from, and it's from a good place. This is from somebody who means well. Possibly the other person that they know who has had rosacea didn't cope with it as well as I am coping with it, and therefore they're trying to reach out to help me because they think I may be secretly suffering in that same way. So it is coming from a good and helpful place, and so all I can do is smile and thank them and then get back to the task at hand, whatever that happens to be. Come to think of it though, that actually may be a good opportunity for me to start handing out my business card and telling people that actually it's not a sunburn or a windburn, but it is a skin condition I have called rosacea, and if you want to see more about it, I've done over 200 videos on YouTube, so maybe that'll be a thing in the future that I'll try out. I'll let you know if I get bold enough to try it, and I'll let you know how it goes. I bet they wouldn't comment on anybody's rosy cheeks again. But what I have found is that the people that I actually see all the time, the places where I shop all the time, my friends and family, my neighbors, that kind of thing, they're so used to seeing me and talking to me and knowing how I am, and knowing that I'm really a friendly person. I try very hard to be friendly. I don't think they even really see it anymore, and if they do see it, it just doesn't matter because it's stopped being a thing and it's just a part of friendly, caring, goofy-ish Julie. So will I keep trying to heal my condition? Of course. I don't want it. I don't want to have rosacea. I don't like how it feels, and I'm not thrilled about how it looks. If I had the choice between a flawless complexion or the way that it is right now with the little pink on it, then I would definitely choose flawless, and I will definitely keep trying different products, different treatments. I will keep doing my light therapy every single day. But at the same time, I'm not going to let it decide how I feel about myself when I'm facing another person. And I'm not going to hide it anymore. It is not a matter of shame. It's a matter of a pink blotch. And that's it. Sometimes it's a big blotch, but it's still just a blotch. And to be honest, it stays a lot more controlled when I'm not constantly adding cosmetics to it. So really, it's less of a blotch when I stop trying to cover it up. But yeah, so that in a nutshell, plain and simple, is why I have stopped covering up my rosacea. I just have learned to let it be a part of me. It may not be my favorite part of me, but I also don't like a lot of other parts of me too, and I don't really need to cover them up either. So yeah, so I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it entertaining, informative, and I hope maybe it's inspired you to think of your rosacea in a different way. It shouldn't be an embarrassment. You know that you are a friendly person, you smile readily, and other people will enjoy being around you because the blotches on your face have absolutely no bearing on that. So yeah, if you did like this video though, I hope you will give me a thumbs up. That way I will know that this is the kind of thing that you're interested in watching. If you would like to see more of this kind of thing, I hope you will subscribe to my channel and click the little bell icon if you want to be alerted when I've added new videos. And other than that, I will see you next time.